Hello, Cade, I'm assuming. Anybody else watching this, welcome. This is going to be kind of a beginner sort of guide. I'm just going to play some Wraith with some of the general perks that you would have access to as like a brand new player. So this is the Wraith, cloaks, the uncloaks, can be invisible, doesn't have a terror radius. We'll talk about that more when we get into gameplay. But the build that I'm going to run is Bitter Murmur. So every time a survivor's gen, they're going to get their aura shown for a few seconds. No one escapes death. Everybody that plays on the survivor side hates this perk. It's very good. So exposed means that if a survivor is healthy or injured, they'll go down no matter what. And it's really oppressive on Wraith, being very stealthy, being very fast. So you'll see how that works. Sloppy Butcher to keep people injured longer. If they're injured longer, they're not working on gens, and it gives you more of a chance to find them again, interrupt them being healed, and then they're injured for longer that way. The Mangled makes them take longer to heal. Hemorrhage, if they're interrupted, they lose their healing progress. So yeah, this is a very strong perk on Wraith. As well as Predator. Now this is the new Predator. The old Predator was garbage. The new Predator is very good. When a survivor escapes a chase, they'll be revealed in 4 seconds, every 40 seconds. And you'll probably see that come into play. You can use it for some jump scare tactics. The first game I'm not going to use any add-ons, and then I'll use some after that, and we'll see how that goes. Okay. So one thing that's going to feel particularly bad as a new killer is the fact that you don't have any access to gen regression or gen slowdown. Now, regression means perks that damage generators, so they lose progress. Slowdown means generators that get blocked. In the near future, you will have access to a particularly powerful gen slowdown perk. Called Deadlock. So look forward to that for sure. So there's Predator. So one thing you can do, if you get stunned by a pallet. She had lied, I believe. Yeah, she wasn't paying attention. You can kind of like hide your terror radius, or you can hide yourself behind walls to kind of get the drop on people. Just be careful when you pick people up, especially under pallets, because if they drop the pallet on you with good timing, then they can get a save. Predator again. Predator's honestly not too good on this killer now that I'm seeing this. This main building, by the way, has only one window, and depending on which side it is, you do or don't want to break the wall. So here I'm going to go on this side, and he's going to drop the pallet and quickly switch to the other side. It's like a fake of sorts. Keep in mind when you come out of when you uncloak freshly, you have increased lunge distance and speed for like a very short amount of time. So a good rule of thumb is to get really close to a survivor and then lunge almost immediately. Disappearing scratch marks. Usually they'll hide behind stuff, take a few looks, but don't overthink it too much. So what I'm doing right now is called tunneling, hitting somebody directly off the hook. It's usually just seen as BM. If you want to win the game, that is one way to do it. When a survivor gets off the hook, they have 10 seconds of invincibility, where they cannot go down to anything to prevent like super tunneling or whatever, turbo tunneling. This thing is... See, now this is the place that you want to be careful since I'm on a pallet. If you hear footsteps or you think somebody's close, you can swing, and that might save you. Here's a good tip. So there's 3 pistons moving on that generator. Each piston is about 25% gen progress. So if you are far away from the gen, you can sight check it without having to hear it. If you see, all those pistons moving. Okay, I'm gonna... Yeah, see. I backed up as I uncloaked because I figured she was going to go for the window. I would have not made the window, by the way. So that's something you can apply to other loops, not just the shack window. See how this one has one barely moving? It's like maybe 10%, 15%. We go back to this one. This one has three pistons moving pretty good. It's about 75. I'm gonna attempt to get a perfect game here because I don't think these guys are gonna be able to go the distance. Plus I want to be able to show you more tricks here. Yeah, that's fine. I want to find Talita or Nia, if possible. Also, visually checking, if you kick the generator, if it's sparking, that means nobody's touched it, and you can just continue to leave it regressing. You guys... Okay, she had endurance. What from? I believe it's Dead Hard. So, Dead Hard is a pretty high skill perk. You can use it when you've been hooked once. You press E, and then you get a half second. So I'm gonna fake this side. She's gonna. Oh, she faked that. Okay, so she faked my faking. Yep. So you're gonna come across people that are pretty good like that. Those are called 50-50s. So I tried to fake her so she would. I tried to fake like I was going to hit her so she would vault the pallet, but she didn't vault the pallet. She kept going. And then she used the pallet when I was going to swing, so I missed. So those, that just takes time. That just takes practice. Let's potentially find either Fang or Soma. That'll work. So I see her R because of Predator. She's not gonna jump. Okay, I'm gonna vault this. That body blocks it. So a medium vault like that. Okay, hold on. There's three different kinds of vaults. There's a slow vault, there's a fast vault, and there's a medium vault. What she just did, the medium vault, is a decent bit slower than the fast vault. And if you see somebody going for a medium vault, you can usually lunge, swing, and you'll hit them. So let's see, that's Bitter Murmur, so that you can tell kind of based on aura who's injured and who's not. So you could see the person that was over to the left was kind of hunched over a little bit. That person's injured, so that's Talita. We are gonna get her out of here. Yeah, she just used Dead Hard. You saw it there. She used it too early. So they kind of lunged forward with their arm outstretched. Not very many people use that perk in lower MMR just because they don't have access to it. But you will see it. So scratch marks. Yeah. You can see the blood he's leaving behind. That's also a way that you can tell if somebody's injured or not. There are perks to make blood brighter. Oh god. There are perks to make blood brighter, and there's perks to make blood last longer. I believe that's called Bloodhound. That's also a Wraith perk. A decent perk. I can use it next game. So we will ding 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 and then lunge through here. It's kind of like a more advanced trick. If somebody's camping a pallet, you can kind of like, if you feel like they're not paying attention or whatever. Alright, so now we get to the point in the game. We have 3 kills, we have 1 person left. Nia's been hiding all game. I doubt we'll find her. We'll see. So when there's 3 skulls, when you hear that, it means the hatch is spawned. Since all the generators are not done, the exit gates are not powered. So the hatch is the only way out until I close it. Let's see if we can get to that point, if I can find it. Don't go all the way to the wall when you're searching for hatch. You want to kind of stick to like a little bit on the inside and then look middle if you don't find it on the inside. Definitely remember where you've been so you can check areas you haven't. Look at this over here. No? Yeah, I think I know where it is. It's in this opposite corner over here. I didn't check this very well. Yep, here it is. So this is the hatch. It glows that black smoke and gives off that loud noise that you can hear at a certain radius. So close it. And then you'll see the gates. This is my totem. Noed is a totem. That can be cleansed, and if that gets cleansed, then it goes away, and you don't have it anymore. So the killer, when the endgame timer is up, that's the timer at the top, can see the exit gates through anything, so they always know where they are. At this point, you want to just kind of like go between both of them, kind of see what's going on, just like check them periodically. If there's no red lights, then they haven't been touched. See right here, you can see 1 red light, and she's trying to open it. I'm gonna uncloak. Because of Noah, she's gonna go down instantly. And I'm gonna get the kill. There you go. So let's explain some of these things, I guess. Points, you know, there's 4 categories. You get points scored for certain events. These are the emblems. Get a pip, you need to get a certain amount of points and emblems. You can kind of read these more, see how to get them. The pips increase your killer rank or your survivor rank depending on who you're playing. I think the first pip for Gray is like way down here, and it's really easy to get. This requires you to get all 4 iridescent ones, which is very difficult, even if you win. Just because the game has to last a certain amount of time, you need to get a certain amount of hooks. So I couldn't get this one as iridescent because I never hooked Nia because she was hiding the whole time. So yeah, there's that. And every 13th of the month, the ranks are reset, and based on your rank, you get a certain amount of blood points. So for being Eerie 1, you get 1 million. And this is your devotion rank. Get Eerie shards if you level up. And then you can see everybody's perks and shit and their score. This little icon right here means they're either on the Epic Games Store or on console, Xbox or PS5 or Switch. If you don't see this, then they're a Steam user and playing on PC. So now we're going to swap Predator for Bloodhound. Bloodhound makes fresh blood marks easier to see. They're brighter, they're larger, and they last 4 seconds longer, so you can follow injured people a lot easier. I'm also going to be using some good add-ons. Typically what you want for Wraith is like uncloaking speed or even cloaking speed. Let's see, what's easy? We'll have 5% faster movement speed while cloaked. I don't think any of the browns. This bone clapper is actually really good, so when you use it, these survivors can hear the sound of the wailing bell no matter where they are, so they get like confused and disoriented about where you're coming from, especially if you hide behind a wall while you're uncloaking. This is a really good one. So if you uncloak, you can not be so when you're uncloaked, survivors will hear your presence as like a heartbeat and like music, and the music gets more intense and the heartbeat gets louder as you get closer. So if that's with this, it will be suppressed for 6 seconds. So killers also have a red stain. The Wraith has no red stain when he's cloaked, but when he's uncloaked, he does have it. And the red stain is really easy to. It's used to show where the killer is looking. You can use, or the red stain projects in front of you like a meter or two. So without seeing the killer, you can actually see their red stain, like if they're around a corner, for example. But suppressing that will allow you to sneak up on people a little bit easier, potentially get grabs off of gens, for example. Okay, so something you're also going to run into a lot is these fucking green offerings. So those are map offerings. They force you to go to a specific map. Usually not very fun, but they are. You can hear the clunking, that slight clunking. That means there's somebody working on a generator. There is somebody up there. So this guy is probably gonna make that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's how you know a survivor is on the gen. This guy is gonna teabag me because that's super cute. But again, super unsafe pallets like that, I mean, if you can fake one way, you're gonna get people very easily. Just like that. It's pretty easy to do. I would say that's one of Wraith's bread and butter type of things. Is getting those kinds of hits, especially since he gets the speed boost. One thing that you want to be careful of in this game is flashlights. So whenever possible, if you're going to pick somebody up and you think you saw somebody with a flashlight, they're going to go for a rescue. And if you get blinded, you're going to drop the survivor you're carrying. The thing about flashlights though is that most people that run them are incredibly stupid and don't know how to use them. So yeah, you can kind of take advantage of that. So this sounds like it's going pretty well. Yeah, that's about 75. We can follow the scratch marks here. So I'm gonna fake like I'm cloaking this way. Oh, she's gonna run, but she's still not gonna make it. She is? Okay. Odd. I'm gonna fake. No, she didn't fall for it. I'm gonna cloak. She's probably gonna go for that one. Oh, she's gonna go for the pallet. Okay, she didn't fall for that one either. Yeah, she's gonna blind me at the pallet. That's what the blind looks like. See that you see how much brighter the blood is? It's way noticeable in maps that have grass. I don't think these guys are ready, even though I don't particularly have anything that strong. So yeah, when you pick somebody up, try to like maneuver yourself to face a wall, make it easier or make it harder for them to get blinds. If you make that a habit, you're not going to get blinded very much. And you get more hooks. Oh, there's Gabriel. I'm going to pretend like I didn't see him. But I did, of course. So I want to be on the short. He had Lithe. So if you see a speed boost after a vault, that's Lithe. Keep in mind that they can only use that once, though. They can only use that once every so often. I think it's like maybe 60 seconds they have to recover. It's a status effect called exhaustion. And you lose exhaustion by either not moving or walking. She's gonna get that window. It's also a really good idea to, like, when you've gone places you've seen before, kind of memorize layouts, vault locations, stuff like that. So she's in a lot of trouble because we broke this pallet earlier. There are certain pallets that you can leave up that will not affect your gameplay very much. That one from the start is a good pallet to get rid of just because of how much you have to go around. So let's say like this pallet was here. If it was there, I would have to go around it, whereas the survivor can jump over it back and forth, and I have to go like all the way around. We'll leave them to that. But for this one, like, it's pretty weak. I mean, I could leave it, yeah, and I could leave it for the most part. Like, we don't need to worry about that pallet too much, because when they vault pallets, they're locked in animation, and you can usually get a hit before they do something else. So this sloppy, you're noticing that they're staying injured a lot, and that is because of the sloppy butcher. So I'm gonna fake like this. She's gonna go that way, and she can't make this pallet again. See, just like short little loops like that. It's pretty damn good. Pick up just a wall. It's behind me. Don't swing too much when you're carrying a survivor, because that makes it really easy for them to wiggle out. See how bright this is? It's very bright. She's hit hard. I'm not even fucking uncloaked. I can't even hit her. Keep forgetting to use Bitter Murmur. I'm not used to using it. I don't use it very often. Oh, he ran the other way. A good headset definitely helps. In this game, you can hear people injured, hear footsteps, hear breathing, all that good stuff. So this homie, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna fake this right, fake that left. Ah, okay. Well, you saw the idea. You get the point. So let's see here. Somebody just Nick for a little bit. An advanced tactic you can do is you can I haven't had a chance to use it. With these double pallets, I usually recommend that you break at least one, and then the whole thing's kind of worthless. Okay, he had light. You see the speed boost after the vault. This guy's pretty smart. There's a window in here that I don't know if he makes. Nope, he didn't. If it had been a fast vault, he would have made it. So I'm gonna bring your attention to the hook stages. So we have 2 survivors left. We have 3 hook stages. That means one person has 1 hook stage left, and the other one is dead if we hook them again. I believe that's Sable, and Nick still has 1. It's usually good practice to try and keep track of who has what health stages. Just so you know who to kill if you get in a tight situation where there's like 1 gen left, 4 people are still alive, you need somebody dead. In situations like this where there's not very many people alive, I usually recommend that you kick gens no matter what percentage they're at, because then if they get repaired again at some point, you know somebody's in the area. So now we're going to be looking for Hatch again. She found it immediately. She spawned under her feet or some shit. That happens sometimes. Sometimes it'll spawn under your feet, sometimes it'll spawn under their feet. Or actually, they brought this. So it's also a good idea to pay attention to the offering screen, because I didn't. If I had, once I saw Nick killing himself, that means there would have been 1 person left and the hatch would have spawned. So when it says tremendously, ignore that. It's 100% guaranteed. So I'll show you what the shack building looks like. Not every map has a shack, but if there's 1 person alive, this is where the hatch will be. So that was speed, and that was the suppression. I didn't really get to see a good showcase of either of those. I'm gonna use kind of his more scarier ones for cloaking and uncloaking. So this is gonna make me uncloak 12% faster, and this is gonna make me cloak 60% faster. And it's quite a difference. It's a massive difference. Let's run another perk here. Let's use some info. We're going to use Spies from the Shadows, and I'll show you how that works. So that'll enable me to find, I guess, either healthy or injured survivors. It doesn't particularly matter. But Spies is kind of underrated in my opinion. Nobody really expects it, so you'll see what I mean. So this usually means that the survivor brought something busted, something they don't want to lose. So that could be like a green toolbox or like a really good flashlight. It prevents them from losing it if they get killed. So they can just kind of like bring good items without fear of losing it, basically. So obviously, depending on what item they bring, you could be in for a bad time. But usually I see those white wards be used for flashlights, and like I said, most people don't really know how to use flashlights. If you get blinded by somebody who's good at flashlights, you'll know, and then you just gotta slug, not pick up, see if they're around, face a wall, that kind of stuff. This map is probably my least favorite map. It's very dark. The main building is kind of ass, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna turn my volume up a little bit. This gen up here can only be worked on by 1 person. You'll get to know those kinds of things the more experience you have. So you hear the clunking? So you see the yellow bar? Look how fast I can cloak, so right back in it. And that bird you just saw, that is the that would be spies from the shadows. So this person is going to be a little more difficult to figure out. Cars are usually not good loops for him. Honestly, this would be a little bit more of a competitive game. Just because my MMR has gone up on my Wraith. And also, like I said, gen regression perks you don't have. And that's not going to feel very good. So in this case, since I don't... Okay, I saw somebody to the left here. You can see them. They're crouching kind of slowly. So this is another car. Problem is she's not playing it well. So yeah, back and forth on these small pallets. It's usually not a big deal. It takes practice. So spies from the shadows is birds being disturbed, crows being disturbed. That usually can tell you which direction. So it looked like it got disturbed from this direction, so it looks like they ran this way. See if we can't find them. Doesn't look like it. Here's some scratch marks here. Pick up right away. So now we have the top Meg dead on hook. We absolutely need to. We can kill her at some point. Let's see. All three of them are over there. You can see the one that's hunched over. That's the injured Nia. I'm assuming they're trying to find a nice place to heal. But you see how nice it is to cloak and uncloak faster. These are some of Wraith's best add-ons. Playing on PC is also very powerful. It's very difficult to get shook. Okay, there's spies from the shadows, so somebody's over here. Who though? Somebody was. Ooh, I'm not sure. Let's go somewhere else. So you only disturb birds. This one's almost done. Since this is almost done, we're gonna kick it. Well, it's not almost done. It's at like 50 because there's two pistons. So I'm gonna cut through the middle here because they're probably going for the unhook. And here's Ash. He's gonna try to make that window, but he's not gonna make it. Oh, he tried to fake it. Okay. Having good reaction time is important. If you see a survivor kind of veering off to the left, just like swing your mouse. 9 times out of 10, you'll hit them. Maybe it requires some fine-tuning, but don't worry about it too much. Obviously, you can watch as much as you want, but you need to feel, you need experience. That would be your biggest asset. So now that we hooked Ash, let's go back to this gen that had a lot of progress on it. I'm almost positive that they would have gone back to this to try and finish it, and they did. She got herself a bit stuck there. The cloaking speed is really huge. Okay, so that person is most likely running to go finish that gen. So we're gonna run back there. You can hear that down there. I want to check on this one because I still feel like somebody ran over here to go check. They did not, but I want to kick this because it's at like 75%. Now we'll go back downstairs into the basement. I can hear somebody injured. Yep. My rule of thumb for breakable walls is don't break them unless you have to. In this case I do. So I need to get her outside so I can hook. Getting downs in the basement is usually a bad thing, especially for this main building, unless the basement is here. Oh, I just realized I forgot to show Shack. So let's go find Shack real quick for that Shack offering. Okay, Bitter Murmur, that is Ash. Actually, let's hunt down Ash, I'm sorry. So he's running from right to left. Let's go to the front of this house if I see him. Yep, we'll see the bird that he disturbed. There's nothing down here, so he's probably just trying to hide. Oh, there's a pallet there. Dude, try your best not to get stunned as Wraith because it's like twice as long if you're cloaked. Let's see, we got scratch marks. This is Shack. This is Shack. So it has a window, a pallet, and it's fairly strong. I think the other girl might be here because we saw a crow get disturbed on the outside of the building. So we get close, we uncloak, we get that extra 12% cloaking speed. I missed because I don't know what the is going on. For breakable walls, there's a window here, for example. Like, how do you get out of here? Well, there's a breakable wall, so just break the wall. If they take that window ever, now it's much weaker, and you can just go around it very quickly. If a survivor brings... There's two kinds of hatch offerings. If a survivor brings a hatch offering for the shack, the killer shack, it can be inside here, or on the outer walls. The killer shack can also have the basement, which has 4 hooks in it. But yeah, playing around the killer shack is fairly difficult. It's a fairly survivor safe area. If they had brought a different hatch offering called Vigo's blueprint, which would have been... She is not here, which makes me... Oh, there she is. So, right there, I just blocked the door, so she couldn't get the pallet. So, an advanced Wraith tactic is using your speed to catch up to people and kind of like block vault locations, for example. Let's see if we can do it right here. Wait, that's not a place that you can fit through. Hold on. So right here I can like block this. Yeah, she's not gonna let me do it, but that's fine. I bet she keeps running. Oh, they're healing down here. No. So that guy just tried to get a pallet save, but obviously it didn't work. He was too late. So I kind of faked it there, kind of like uncloaked to like 99. I can force a survivor to drop a pallet. He went the wrong way, but he might make it to that one. No, he's not going to try for it. Yeah, these guys are pretty much done. I think I still heard somebody. Yeah, here she is. She had lied, but because I'm so fast, like it doesn't really matter. So I don't know what kind of sound effect that she just did. She either entered a locker or vaulted a window very fast. But we do not have an offering for that. But I hear her. Here she is. So yeah, those are speed add-ons. And there you go. I got max pips. Pretty good. I hooked everybody once. If you hook everybody once, you win a bunch of chases. You don't let the gates, the generators get fixed. And you hit them a bunch of times and get hook states, then yeah, you're gonna double pip. Very, very nice. Yeah, she wanted to keep her brand new part, so yeah, GG's. I'll do one more with some add-ons that I want to do. The add-ons that we're going to use is these purples. I don't really like this Eerie. This Eerie is really good. The Wailing Bell being silent is really good. You can try that on your own. It's very fun. But the two that I want to show you that are going to be, well, you know what? Let's do something fun. We're going to do this one. This is my favorite. So this allows you to see the auras of survivors within 8 meters while cloaked. And if you combine this with the silent bell, you can sneak up on them very bad and they will shit their pants. This is also another good add-on. I'm not going to show it in this video, but I recommend you use it for vaulting speeds, for breaking pallets, breaking generators. If you do that shit while cloaked, you're going to clean up a lot of hazards. You're going to regress the generators very fast and then get right back into chase. It's a very powerful add-on. But yeah, for this one, I am going to... I don't have one. Okay, well, that's fine. We'll waste it for this video. That's fine. So I've used this particular add-on combination to get grabs off of generators. If you hold the attack button while right next to a survivor, so don't do a lunge, just hold the attack button while they're interacting with something. This can be a generator, a totem, or getting in and out of a locker, or if they're doing a medium vault or a slow vault while they're injured, then you can grab them. And if they're on a generator and you grab them, even if they're healthy, they're gonna get down. You can put them right on a hook. It's pretty great. So we'll see if I can show that off. All right, Treatment Theater, Larry's Memorial Institute. This is perfect for what we've got going on, by the way. This is going to be absolutely foul. And you're going to see why. Hopefully. We'll see. I won't make any guarantees until I actually manage to grab somebody. There's spies. Somebody's over here. Probably on this gen. Okay. Let's see. How do I do this? So... what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do... Oh, okay, I hit him, but you see how it's quiet? They can't hear anything. Problem with this is that there's a lot of windows in this map. That guy was very patient, but it's just hard to play pallets like that. Pick up next to a wall. Look, and we're going. I will grab somebody off the generator, I swear I will. Yeah, I'm trying to make her panic so I don't have to uncook completely. These guys are actually flying on gens, which is not good. Spies. So there's always these god pallets here. There's no way to get around them very well. Okay, well, I want to try and get a grab. I want to show you guys how we can get grabs. They keep spotting me though. So he actually doesn't know when I'm about to swing. So we got 2 hooks on him. He's a liability to his team now. Unfortunately, I'm kind of sucking ass in this, but we'll see. I cannot get them to sit still on the fucking gens, man. So that particular animation is called Finesse. It's a Laura perk, a Laura, whatever, the person from fucking Tomb Raider. That makes the vaults faster. That's crazy. I cannot believe that wasn't a hit. These people are very smart, which is unfortunate for me. In a game where you're struggling like this, you can see generators at all times, by the way. I usually recommend that you stick to ones that are 3, pretty close. They're gonna get this. They're not gonna get this. Stick to 3 that are pretty close, ones that you can patrol pretty easily. You'll have a lot easier time. Spies is going off like crazy. They're gonna be greedy with these, most likely. There's a grab. So you can hide, you get the point. You can hide behind objects and then run around quickly and get grabs. And that saves me a hit, you know? So it's a pretty big deal. And now because he's hooked next to this really progress gen that I'm defending really hard, like, they're gonna have a pretty hard time trying to get him. Do not camp too close to the hook. If you do it too close for too long, they can unhook themselves. There's an anti-camp feature that was added a while ago to prevent that kind of thing. It used to be pretty bad and pretty rampant. There's spies. They're coming from this way over here. Yep. Let's see, where is she going? There's another spies. Heard her footsteps. Wait. Oh, I see. You came back for this. Another thing you can do as Wraith is if in a corner like this, you can body block people. So they made a huge mistake in letting him get the stage 2, so now he's also dead on hook. Okay, Carlos DC'd. I am playing this kind of dirty, I won't lie, but I'm trying to show you what's going on. So, I apologize to these guys. So we're gonna act like we're going for the Sable, but we're actually for the Ada. So she got a medium vault there. They need to go for other gens, is what they need to do. That's their big mistake. Spies again. Ada is running very far. Spies again. She's still running. It's unfortunate that I haven't gotten to use NOED, but if you get in a situation where you can use it effectively, you will you see how good it really is. Oh, I didn't uncloak all the way. Don't make that mistake. Ah, shit. Where's Bill going? Bill's over in that corner, so let's go get him. He's gonna be unaware. Or I guess Sable's gonna be unaware. See how I blocked her forward progress? Even though you're invisible, you can still block people's forward progress. And they're all staying injured for a really long time because of Sloppy Butcher, all that good stuff. I think they're still back here. Yeah, they are. And he's gonna drop the pallet, he's gonna blind me, that's fine. Ada's going upstairs. Spies, that's Bill. Let's go for Bill. Here's Bill. He's gonna vault that. Yep, he's gonna vault it back. That's so you see right there. That was the difference between like medium vaults and. Okay, he's going in the basement. Medium vaults and fast vaults. Spies was over here. Spies is over here. She's gonna make that window. Survivors can infinitely jump through windows as much as they want, as long as they're not in a chase. If they're in a chase, then they can only vault the same window 3 times before it gets blocked. I'm trying to do some mind games. This girl's very smart. I'm gonna hide myself in the corner here. Spies once more. Most likely be able to find, yep, spies again. So it looks like she's running up this way. She's gonna lock her here. So another good reason to have a headset. You can hear injured survivors in the lockers pretty easily. Yeah. Typically I don't play matches like that. I got carried away trying to get grabs. And I forgot that Carlos was dead on hook. But it happens. But yeah, that's like the most broken add-on combination in my opinion. So experiment, see what you like, and ask me questions. And if you want to see a different killer or a specific build or playstyle or whatever, let me know and I'll try to make it happen. Alright, good luck.